Welcome back, guys, and today we are going to be talking about Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the Test Drive Unlimited series, Test Drive Unlimited was basically, the very short version of it, is essentially imagine the crew, but you owned your own houses, you could walk around in them, you could customize them, and also have a gigantic car collection that you could use to drive around the map or race around the map with your friends. And again, that's a very oversimplified version of what Test Drive Unlimited is, but you had Test Drive Unlimited 1, Test Drive Unlimited 2, and then the series kind of went almost dormant for quite a few years, and then recently we started hearing more and more about Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. We had a teaser trailer, and then now we have a new trailer that released very recently that showed a lot more little details than you might have caught on your first watch. Now, as we watch through the trailer again, one of the main things that I want to clarify is that down in the bottom corner, right when this part of the trailer started, it actually says made with in-game footage. However, I imagine that that is a mixture, obviously, of kind of computer-generated imagery mixed in with gameplay footage. Now, a lot of people thought that it was just all computer-generated imagery and none of it was gameplay footage, but it seems as though gameplay footage has been intermixed throughout this trailer in several parts. And one of the main moments that really stood out to me was this one, where we got a little bit of a glimpse of the map in this silhouette of what I assume to be a player character walking through a scene. Now, obviously, that scene isn't there. It's just basically a blank background. But again, they've used this silhouette to give us a look at what part of the map may look like. And I couldn't help but notice racetracks are confirmed. Racetracks are going to be a part of Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown's map. And I honestly find that to be really exciting and really interesting because I don't feel like enough open world racing games make use of dedicated racetracks within their map. Now, obviously, you saw kind of a racetrack around the festival in Forza Horizon 5, and the Crew 2 has quite a few racetracks. The Crew 2 really embraced racetracks as part of its map in its map design, which I think was a really good move for the Crew 2, and I think it also gave players a racetrack that they could drive to, spend time at, interact with their friends on the racetrack, and whether they wanted to do drifting or racing or like have themselves a track day, whatever the case may be, I think a racetrack provides a lot of really good gameplay opportunities for an open world racing game. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about is how they showed us a little bit of a glimpse of what the user interface might look like. Now, they showed this as part of their Nacon Connect 2022 live stream, and interestingly enough, when you look at it, it seems very simple because you have your revs, your gear, your speed on the right, and you have your minimap on the left. Now, obviously, I'm sure none of this is final in any way. I'm sure that the look of it, the feel of it is probably going to be messed with and changed a bunch, but look at the details on the dash of that Lamborghini Huracan Performante. Not only is the tack itself really well detailed and modeled, but look at the forged carbon on the air vents. Look at how you can actually almost see the texture of the Alcantara on the top of the dashboard. There's a lot of depth and detail that has been put into the interiors in this game, and I think it really shows. And I think not only does it show, but I think that's one of the things that they were really trying to get their point across about when they showed this little snippet in their official live stream. Moving on to this next shot right here, this one is also quite interesting because it shows the silhouette of a downtown city area, but it also shows the silhouette of a dockyard, obviously within the silhouette of a Porsche 911. Looks to be probably a 991 generation 911. However, the weird thing about this one is that looking at the buildings, it seems as though a lot of those buildings may be the same shape and architecture. Now, since they said that this footage was created using in-game footage to some degree, I don't know if those buildings are in any way, shape, or form final, and to be honest, they probably are not. And that's okay, because I would honestly love to see them spend more time designing the road network, designing the racetracks, designing the way everything is going to look, the way everything is going to feel, because a Test Drive Unlimited game, for those of you that played TDU 1 and TDU 2, like myself, you know that it's a lot more than a open world racing game. It is almost more along the lines of an MMO, where you really get connected to your character, you get connected to where you live, you get connected to obviously your cars, and there is that open world racing element of it, but it's a lot more of it really borders the line between open world racing game and almost a lifestyle simulation, where you can really dive deep into what that lifestyle would look like for you. And speaking of lifestyle, one of the elements of the game that was talked about on that Nacon Connect live stream was the fact that there are two essentially factions in the game, Streets and Sharps apparently, and they are basically in battle with each other, and you are going to have to choose a side in order to progress forward in the game. Interesting decision here with this. Very, very interesting decision indeed. Now, as of now, I am not sure how this will influence your character's progression within the game. I just really hope that the choice of side does not restrict activities from you as a player. I'm totally down for choosing a side in terms of progressing in a story, progressing in a career mode, but I'm not the biggest fan of a game basically making you choose a side and then restricting elements of gameplay from you because you chose that side. So hopefully they still allow you to experience all of the different aspects of the game, no matter which side you choose in that part of it. One of the things that was really nice to hear them confirm, though, was that the entire map is basically going to be interactable. So right here, they say on screen in the subtitles, you can drive on the road, on gravel, on grass, just about wherever you can see, you can drive to it. And I think, having that element back in the game is essential, because back in, the OG Test Drive Unlimited games, they really gave you the opportunity to drive in so many more places than most open world racing games ever gave you the opportunity to drive, and that really, I think, made them a true spectacle of a game in their time when the original Test Drive Unlimited games first came out, because keep in mind, those games were running on architectures like PlayStation 2, I want to say, and they still had such a immense world that you could explore and, get so in depth with and learn. And even after hours and hours and hours of gameplay, you were still finding new things. And keep in mind, back then, they did not have the hardware capabilities that we have today. Continuing on, though, with the nightlife-focused theme, I did want to kind of zero in on this shot for a moment here, because I find the license plate hilarious. I find it absolutely, the fact that they made it so that you could make out the license plate in that frame is just brilliant. Also, to comment on that subtitle on the screen right now where they say there are two aspects of competition in the game, what they are referring to, at least what the developer in the live stream referred to, is that there would be the PvP elements of competition, and there would also be more of the social elements of competition. Now, we're going to have to wait until we get closer to release to really find out what that means for the game itself and what it means for you as a player, but I'm intrigued. I think it will bring a new dynamic to open world racing games that right now we don't necessarily have. I mean, obviously, the Forza Horizon series is very, we know how a Forza Horizon game is going to approach things. We know how it's going to play, and we know that there are going to be a lot of really fun elements to a Forza Horizon game. Same with any game in The Crew, like the Crew series as a whole. We know what The Crew is going to bring to the table at this point, but seeing Test Drive Unlimited coming back really has me very, very excited, because it allows a totally new element to re-enter that open world racing and driving space. And I would love for you guys to let me know in the comment section down below what you are most excited about in relation to this game. And to finish up here with this final screenshot from the gameplay showed in the live stream, I say gameplay, I am really hoping that this is part of what they said was used to make that gameplay, right? Like, I'm really hoping that what you're seeing on screen right now is not CGI and is gameplay, because if that is the kind of style that we're going to be seeing from the nightlife element of this game as we race down tight city streets with, like, you know, scooters on the side of the road and like a van on the side of the road and all of these crazy lights and signs all over the place, this is going to be, or at least it has the potential to be, one of the most visually incredible open world racing games that we have seen in a very long time. Now, will they deliver on that? We'll have to wait and see, but I am remaining very, very hopeful for this game because I, as a massive fan of the original Test Drive Unlimited games, this game has me so incredibly excited that it's genuinely hard for me to put into words. But that's gonna do it for this video, y'all, and if you enjoyed it and you want to stay up to date on this game as well as many other games in this space, hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on, and I will see you guys next time. Talk to y'all later. Before we finish, though, we've got to talk about the one part of the live stream that got me more excited than any other part, and that was this, where the developer said, your cars are part of your identity, and you can customize them as much as you want. Now, they didn't go in depth as to what that meant, but I'm going to leave you guys with that and sign off for the video.